What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Charlie B, and welcome back to another episode of Speaking the Truth TV. And here today, I want to talk to you just about everyday life, man. We all go through problems, we all go through issues. It's all about having that backbone. And when I say having that backbone, I mean that person or that village that stands behind you and always there to uplift your spirits. You know, with the price of everyday living going up, with the price of food, children expenses, gas, all of that stuff, life becomes hectic. And then when you add in your emotions, how you're feeling, especially if you're one that deals with depression, ADHD, or anything of that nature, it puts more pressure on you. And I mean, nowadays, we need that village. Since grandma and grandpa are gone, a lot of families just kind of fall apart. It was like they were the glue. They were everything that mended this family together. Not just my family. I mean, just families in general. And this new day and age of everybody just caring about themselves, thinking about themselves, is troubling. It's very troubling when you see so many people out on the street. And I know that you can't always feel pity for everyone because everyone goes through their own life and they have decisions to make. But when you don't have family and you don't have those source of income or any means to better yourself, that makes things harder. And then now, they're making all of these laws to where, they're banning people from sleeping in fields and, under bridges and things like that. Yes, it's not safe. But at the same time, if a person can't get a job, if a person can't, you know, um, they don't have money to get an ID, they don't have an address, how do you expect people to maintain and live and do all of these different things if there's no one there? There's no service that helps them. That's why you see so many people committing suicide, to be honest with you, because life is just that hard. Life is a struggle. Life is a beast that grabs you by the throat. And if you don't have the right tools, the right knowledge, the right process, the right people, life becomes even worse. It comes hard. Like I said, people these days, they only want to worry about themselves. They're not thinking about how can I help my fellow brother or my fellow sister or anything like that. It's all about, oh, you got this. Let me see if I can top that. Life is more than materialistic. And when I say materialistic, like the clothes, the jewelry, the shoes, the biggest house. It's cool to want to be comfortable. It's okay to, say I got this because I worked my butt off to get that. But at the end of the day, we can't take none of that stuff with us when we leave. We can't. So why not try to be that lending ear? Why not try to help people and get your blessing at the same time? Because what you put out is what you get in return. You know how they always say karma's a bitch, right? So if you out here and you're messing over people and you're doing all of these things to hurt the next person, it's only gonna come back to you. And when it comes back to you, it's tenfold down. And then you're in that situation that they was in that, nobody loves me, or it's I don't know how I'm gonna get through this week because I don't have this and I don't have that. And I just paid all of this off, whatever the case is. Life is fucking hard. Life will have you in spaces and places that you never really knew existed. and having these emotions, that makes having emotions is good. But at the same time, anger, sadness, hatefulness, I mean, all of these different things are strong, strong emotions. And if you don't have that, support, you don't have that background of having someone there or a method to get you through, sometimes you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you've been lied to so much you don't know what the truth is. Sometimes you've seen so much and you don't know what to believe anymore. With this thing called life, and I'm not going to call it a game, because life is not a game. Because if you go out there and you do something stupid, there's always consequences to your actions. So for me, I try to be happy. I try to be helpful. I try to do all the things that I feel like I would want somebody to do to me. So that comes with, respecting other people, saying how you feel, but at the same time, being respectful, showing your true intentions. You can't beat up on everybody that you see, because I might see this guy right here and I think he's the biggest loser, or I might think she's the biggest loser. But in reality, what didn't happen to this person? They done lost mom, dad, they done lost a child, they done lost a sibling, somebody that's close and near to them. And in their mind, everything is screwed up. Their life has changed, but it didn't change for the better. It changed for the worse. So what do we do? How do we fix this thing called life? How do we put ourselves in better positions? Because yeah, you can go out there and say, yeah, I can get new friends and I can do this and I can do that. But in reality and in the end of it, you don't know these people from a can of paint. They can be just like the last set of people that you just left behind. And I'm not saying to go into the situation thinking that way. I'm just saying that this day and time, people, they will show you one thing. They will show you the side that they want you to see, and then switch it up on you. And it's like, man, I don't even know who this person is. Like, where did this person even come from? But that's life. Life takes you through so many peaks and valleys and gullies and ditches, walking through fields where people have felt like they walked and walked and walked and walked until their feet are bloody. And they still don't come up with a good answer. They still can't figure out how to better the situation, because them thoughts is it's in their head. And if y'all hear train, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? It's a little something going on outside. But life is not a game. Life is not a joke. Like I said, people are killing themselves because they don't feel the love. They're killing themselves because they don't feel like they can keep going through life the way that they're going. And people say, oh, that's a shame, oh, that's a pity, or this person was an idiot, that person was an idiot. How can you call them an idiot? Yeah, it wasn't right for you to take your own life. Yes, that's the easy way out. But what if that was the only thing that they thought was going to fix the situation? You're not them. You're not going through it. So you can't judge anybody for what they go through. Life will spit you up and hang you out to dry. It really will. So the only thing that I'm asking on this platform, in this space, take care of one another. Let's communicate. Let's be that shoulder to lean on for somebody else when they're in that time of need. When they're in a situation and they just feel like there's no other answers, there's no other way, that there's nobody listening to them, that nobody really cares. Even if you don't know this person, show them that you care. Because that act of kindness could actually change that person's life. That could actually make them have a different output on the things that's going on in the world. You never know when you can be that person's blessing. People like to be stubborn. They don't like to change. They just feel like everything that they do is right. And sometimes you could be dead ass wrong. Because I've been dead ass wrong on things that I thought I was just perfect at. That I just thought, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I know what I'm doing. I don't need your help, pipe down, whatever. And in the end, I'm sitting up there like, dang, well, maybe I should have took that person's advice. Maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should have did that. Now I'm regretting my decision because I thought I had it all handled. I'm regretting my mind frame because all of these different things leading up to it put me in a worse situation. So when you think about life, you can't just say, oh, you know, there's no reason this person's living like that. You don't know what the reason is. You don't know. They can be from a whole nother state, and the only family that they got was the people that was there, and they passed away. Or the people, they just shunned them out of the family, because you have families that do that. Oh, because you want to do this with your life, you can't come around. But how can you tell me how to do my life? Excuse me. How can you tell me how to run my life when you had a life to live yourself? Everything that you've done in your life, it wasn't because someone else told you to do it. You made your own decisions on certain things, just like any other human being in this world is going to do. Because having your own mind makes you your own person. But at the same tendencies, we need to learn how to stick together. We really do. If you look at a lot of these different races, and I'm not racist, I'm just saying it. But if you look at the different races, Mexicans, what do? The Hispanics, what do? They cram themselves in one house. Everybody goes to work, but one by one, everybody gets them a house. One by one, everybody gets them a car. They help each other. With the white people, they're teaching their kids about credit scores and stocks and bonds and different things like that to get their kids ahead of the game. But when it comes to African Americans, we don't do that for our kids. We don't do that for our kind. It's all about what I can do for me. It's never about uplifting the next person. It's never about, trying to be more humane than materialistic or trying to be better than the next person. We don't do that. That makes life tough. And as men, anyways, we get the wrong end of the stick because we're always taught, don't show no feelings, no emotions, no crying, suck it up, deal with it. And it's like, we got feelings too. We got emotions that we go through. We got things that bother us in our head. We need that confidence sometimes. Yeah, we're men. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be, the breadwinners and all of that stuff. But we go through things too. We do. But because of the way that we were raised, men especially, we're raised to show no emotion. And that plays with your head. It does. It plays with your head when this is what you're taught from the beginning. Instead of being like, okay, you're gonna have emotions, you're gonna have to go through this, you're gonna go through that. This is how you deal with it. You ever got a problem, you can come and talk to me or whatever the case is. But it's not like that. So for everybody that's going through something in life, I just want to say, I know it's a struggle. I know it's real. I know it's hard, but keep your head up. Find that safe space. Find those friends. Find those family members. Find those things that can help you make better decisions, because life is worth living. It really is. Life is really, really worth living. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Speaking the Truth TV, where we always keep it 100. We always keep it real. Leave any comments, questions, like, share, subscribe. And if ain't nobody told y'all, I love y'all. And until next time, we out of here.